talk of Sioux Falls. 1140 KSOO.
3:34 here on the Talk of Sioux Falls, 1140 KSOO. This weekend, the Birds are in town. That's the Sioux Falls Canaries. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They host the Texas Air Hogs at the Birdcage. That's a 7:05 Thursday and Friday, 6:05 Saturday, 12:05 day game. Sunday, you're going to want to get out there. And it is time of the day when I like to bring in one of my weird friends. When that time of day when one of my longtime, incorrigible, and somewhat shady, occasionally shady friends joins the show to kind of soothe my soul, provide some order to my chaos, much like my own John Kelly, my own chief of staff, occasionally recall some adventures. And today's weird friend, the original weird friend, Sioux Falls' original superhero, the Booneman. Booneman, it is my honor to have you back on the show after a week hiatus.
Patrick Lalley, I can't believe it. It must have been the overwhelming demand from the public of where's Booneman?
Yes. Oh,
yes. I'm sure there was.
Without a doubt, your old friend Matt Staub was on the program last week, and that's exactly what he said. So if that qualifies for as overwhelming demand, then
yes, it was. I'm sure.
So far, that's as much demand as we've gotten. But So the Booneman, as we know, is Sioux Falls' original superhero, and he sees things from his perch that most of us don't see. What are you seeing these days?
Well, one
Mr.
thing
Booneman?
that I see is an untapped wealth that we have right here in the heart of the North End.
Yeah.
Really the heart and soul of Sioux Falls, and that is Covell Lake.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, there were, there was ice skating in the winter, and then in the summer, the paddle boats.
Absolutely.
Which, when maybe fellas your and my age, when we were youngsters, they were old then. I remember they had names on them like ships. I think my favorite one was Old Tetanus Shot. Was because they were.
I don't think that was really the name on that fine. They were like the minnow and the turtle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not ye old tetanus shot.
That probably would have been a more accurate name. But like paddle boats, if you've never ridden a paddle boat,
mm-hmm.
it sounds like a lot of fun until you do it, and then it's just horrible. But it is a nice chunk of water. It's well protected.
Yep.
I really think that you could have maybe a little marina there with spaces for one-man sculls, one-person sculls.
I like this. I like this idea a lot.
And I think it's long enough that you could race two sculls up and down and have room to turn. I don't know how those things turn.
Just a little. I think you just kind of put a little extra oomph on one side or the other, and it goes that direction. And I suppose you could probably
turn pretty quickly if you just did one side.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's not straight. It's kind of a big crescent of a piece of water.
Well, it's got a little bend in it, but I mean, I think that you could get. I've looked at it in Google Earth.
Yep.
And I think it's about 7 blocks long. And what is that?
Long enough, I think, is what you're saying.
4,000 feet.
Yeah, well,
almost a mile.
And there's also that there's an island now. There's 2 islands. There used to only be one. There's that man-made island that one of those architect companies built for the city, right in the middle there. So you could just have like one route that went down around the first island, or the longer route goes all the way down to West Avenue and comes back.
I think that there are people that would dock their skull there and just lock it up and just come down and jump on and get a little exercise, I think is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen pictures of that before. And you could have an event. You could have the Covell Crew Club.
Covell Crew Club. I like that. I like that. So they could build like a little, because if you go to some of these cities, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Philadelphia and places like that. Baltimore, exactly. You see these little houses, right? Little clubhouse for the sculling club.
Yes.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that would be it. Now, that belongs to the city, right? That's a public park and lake.
Yeah, they probably won't let you do that, but unless they build it and then rent it. You know, it could be a contract situation.
Yeah, could be a JV partnership deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Make a note.
Well, you know what else on this? I really like this idea because, well, we should do this anyway. Even if we can't get the actual sculling thing going,
Yep.
You should have like crew shirts and stuff, like Covell Lake Crew with the
I'm telling you, the merchandising alone is going to garner tens of dollars.
Tens of dollars. Well, there's those. There's
write that down. Call Huther. I'm going to write that down here. Have you had him on the show yet?
No, I don't know that we're going to do that. But he's
got nothing to lose.
No, I don't think there's not a licensing thing here with the merch, right? We don't need their help on the merch. We just need them to let us have the actual sculling.
Yeah,
that contract.
That would help. That would help with the sales.
Yeah, it would.
Actually, having a crew club.
Someplace to sell that stuff. There is.
I mean, look how many people get that University of Okoboji. What a cash cow that was.
And there's nothing really there.
No.
We're talking with the Booneman on the Patrick Lalley Show here on 1140 KSOO and exploring his idea to basically exploit the history that is Covell Lake for good use. You're using your powers for good.
Exploit is such a nasty word.
I know, but that's what we're doing. I mean, exploit in the best, the best meaning of the word. Yeah, exactly.
The best way possible.
Yeah. You know, I back in my scribe days when I was a young lad on the copy desk down at the Daily, I wrote a column about the last day of the paddle boats. And at that time, the city said, "Oh, no, we're going to bring them back. We're going to bring them back. We just need to do some improvements." Okay, that was 1998. That was a long time ago.
When was the big dredge where they pumped it all out and pumped it into all the sludge into
that was like the 80s. The late 80s, early 90s. Yep.
Took all those bicycles out of it because that thing had to be chock full of bikes. I mean,
there
had to be 1,000 bikes in there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just like sport, right? Go steal somebody's bike and throw it in the lake.
Pretty common. Huge bike graveyard.
Oh, had to be. Just frame after frame after frame.
Because didn't they spray all that mud and sludge over into Burnside Park where those base softball diamonds are? And
Yep.
Kind of fill that area in.
And boy,
it's a little sluey.
It's really grown in there.
Yeah.
It's a little hard pack over there. Don't play softball there.
But, I don't know what kind of time you got there, but I do have...
we got nothing but time.
All right. Well, I do have a joke of the week, and it is nautical themed.
Really? Oh, well, it's appropriate then. Is it appropriate for radio?
Appropriate.
All right, go ahead.
So, a magician was working on a cruise ship, and every week there was a different audience. So the magician did the same tricks over and over again. The only problem with that was the captain's parrot saw the show so many times that he began to understand how the tricks were done. So during the show, the parrot would shout out things like, "Look, it's not the same hat," or "Look, he's hiding the flowers under the table." I don't do a parrot. I don't do the voice. I'm not good at parrot imitations. But basically, the parrot would wreck all the tricks, and the magician was just furious. But he couldn't do anything because the captain's parrot. Well,
right.
one night the ship sank, and the magician finds himself floating on a piece of the wreckage out in the middle of the ocean with, as fate would have it, with a parrot floating there. And they stared at each other. A lot of hatred in their eyes. A lot of man-parrot hatred in there. But neither one of them said a word. So that went on for a day, and then another day, and finally on the fourth day, the parrot just couldn't take it any longer and said, "All right, I give up. Where's the ship?" So it was the nautical theme.
I like that. That was good.
Well, I think if you could take a survey on the Skull Crew, Crew.
I'll get that posted
Covell
up.
Crew Club.
Yep, we're going to do that. We're going to make this happen. Booneman.
Covell Crew Club. And the other thing that we need to do
is wrap this up
and get the band back together.
Oh yeah.
So,
that's a different segment. we'll
Yes,
talk about
I'm
that.
I just needed to throw that out there. That's code. That's kind of like Little Orphan Annie. That's the code. Get your decoder ring out and decode that.
Got it.
We're getting the band back together.
I'll get the tube out. Sounds
All right.
good. Booneman, thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
This is the Patrick Lalley Show on 1140 KSOO.
Still trying to figure out Chad and Beth.